Interior, Blue Lagoon building, front lobby area, afternoon. Damon and Karen are cleaning up. Roxanne enters. Damon approaches her and gives her a hug and kiss. Karen smiles.
Hello, Roxanne. How are you, dear?
Hey, Mrs. Frost. Damon told me about that burglary. God, that's awful. It's so appalling that someone would do this at a charity event of all things.
Alan abruptly enters from another room, holding his cell phone.
Well, I just got off the phone with the insurance company.
What did they say?
You don't have insurance here, so stop calling.
They must be voting for Fernandez.
Jill and Eddie abruptly enter. Eddie has his camera and Jill has her microphone. Eddie turns on his camera.
I'm Jill Danvers of Channel 5 Evening News, broadcasting live from the Blue Lagoon building, where a jewel heist has been committed right after a charity ball was held here last night by Miami City Councilman Alan Frost.
Jill approaches Alan.
Councilman Frost, is there any news on what happened? Are the authorities any closer to catching the culprit?
Jill holds her microphone up to Alan.
Not yet, but they told me they'd notify me. I have no further comment.
Alan scurries away. Jill returns to Roxanne.
Miss Tinsley, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Jill holds her microphone up to Roxanne.
Well, I hope the thieves are caught soon so this will all be over.
Damon and Karen follow Alan out of the room. Roxanne follows them. Jill gets in front of the camera.
We'll have more on this story as it develops. This is Jill Danvers signing off.
Eddie turns off the camera. Jill appears suspicious.
Eddie, did you notice something off about her?
Not really.
She might know more than she's letting on. She said thieves, plural. How does she know it wasn't just one thief?
Maybe she's just assuming.
Maybe. But just the same, we should do some digging on her. Something tells me there may be another news story here.
Interior, beach house, living room, same time. Violet sits on the couch, holding Duchess in her arms. Her phone sounds off, and she picks it up. Violet's phone shows a text from Roxanne, which reads, "Nobody suspects anything. We're in the clear."
Interior, seedy-looking house, later that evening. Carlito sits at a table counting money. Violet, Chloe, and Roxanne strut in. Carlito appears displeased.
Before you say anything, we covered our bases and disabled every alarm. We didn't expect some phantom alarm.
Save it, sweetheart. You girls fucked up the job. I don't want to hear it.
In all fairness, Carlito, we've done a lot of jewel heists for you, and this is the first time we've ever botched one. So you should take that into consideration.
Chloe and Violet lift their velvet bags up to show Carlito.
We still lifted half the jewels.
I discussed it with my partner. We decided you got to make up for this with another job. Different kind of job.
Carlito hands a piece of paper to Violet containing instructions. Violet gazes at it and snickers.
Whoa. Is this shit for real? Organ trafficking?
Chloe suddenly appears mortified. Roxanne chuckles.
Why do we get the feeling you're smuggling a little more than just diamonds here?
No. This is not what we do. We're jewel thieves.
Wait. Are you behind those kidney thefts we've been seeing in the news? That South Beach kidney bandit or whatever?
Not me personally. My partner and I just organize it all.
Look, we've been more than cooperative with all your rules, but now we have to draw a line in the sand here.
Roxanne scoffs at Carlito.
I knew we couldn't trust this geek. Let's go, ladies.
Chloe and Roxanne begin to walk out.
Yeah, sorry, Carlito. Tell your partner to forget it. This isn't what we do.
Violet hands the instructions back to Carlito and follows Chloe and Roxanne. Carlito scoffs back.
Oh, I think you'll want to reconsider, especially when you find out who my partner is.
Chloe, Roxanne, and Violet abruptly turn around. Shirley Badger, mid-40s and ferociously attractive, walks out from another room. Violet appears surprised.
Hello, Violet.
Oh my god. Shirley fucking Badger.
Shirley and Violet eagerly hug. Chloe and Roxanne look dumbfounded.
Whoa, this is the Shirley Badger?
Your old mentor who taught you how to crack a safe?
The one and only.
Shirley, meet Chloe Chamberlain and Roxanne Tinsley, my two comrades in crime. All the knowledge you passed on to me, I passed on to them.
Shirley nods at Chloe and Roxanne. They nod back.
Yeah, I know who they are.
Oh, we feel like we already know you. We learned from Violet, Violet learned from you, so I guess that kind of makes you like our spiritual grandmother.
Chloe elbows Roxanne, and Shirley gazes at Roxanne and pauses.
Violet, I don't like her.
So it's been you all along, working with Carlito, pulling all the strings?
We'll get into that later, Violet. Before you refuse the job, you should probably know your average black market kitty goes for about 200 grand a pop.
Exterior, the open road, Violet's car, moments later. Violet is driving her convertible with the top down. Chloe's in the passenger seat, while Roxanne sits in the back seat in a relaxed position, listening to music with her earbuds.
Did I ever tell you how my parents always wanted me to be a dog groomer?
Oh, here we go again with the dog groomer story.
If only I'd listened to them. But no, I wanted to be a surgeon and go to an expensive, top-notch medical school. Me and my goddamn larger-than-life goals.
Yes, Chloe, we get it. You think it's a bad idea.
It's way more than a bad idea. It goes against my future oath I'll have to take to do no harm.
Violet reaches her hand into the back seat and taps Roxanne to get her attention. Roxanne takes out her earbuds.
What do you think, Roxy?
I mean, 200 grand a pop is a metric fuck ton of money.
Chloe nods her head in the negative.
No, absolutely not. Like hell no. No.
Poor little Chloe. You are so utterly trapped by your own moral code.
Interior beach house kitchen. Early next morning. Roxanne sits on the kitchen counter. Her hair is in pigtails and she's eating a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. The box is on one side of her, while the coffee pot is brewing on the other side of where she's sitting. Duchess sits next to the coffee pot. Violet enters the kitchen as the coffee finishes brewing. She grabs a mug and pours herself a cup. She looks at Roxanne and giggles.
What's with the pigtails, Roxy? Plan on giving Damon a blowjob with handlebars?
Violet looks inside the cereal box.
You bitch! You ate all the Fruity Pebbles!
Roxanne takes another bite and savors it, taunting Violet.
These Fruity Pebbles are so good.
Yeah, whatever. Dork.
Chloe enters the kitchen looking groggy. Violet grabs another coffee mug, pours coffee into it, and hands it to Chloe. Chloe takes a sip and then appears more awake.
Glad you're both up. Now that you've had time to sleep on it, please tell me how you both agree with me about how stupid it would be to take up Shirley and Carlito on their idiotic proposal. You guys can't be thinking of actually considering this, right?
Violet and Roxanne glare at Chloe and then at each other. Roxanne shrugs and takes another bite of her Fruity Pebbles.
It's not like we'd be killing anybody. I mean, people still live with only one kidney.
And think of it this way, Chloe. With the money you'd be making, you could pay your tuition in full. Like after you graduate from medical school, you'll be working alongside all these other surgeons who'll be paying off hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans while you live debt-free.
Seriously? I'd rather be billions in debt than make money doing this.
Yo, Mother Teresa, go take a smoke break and bring back our friend Chloe.
Chloe sighs.
I never said I was Mother Teresa. And you know I don't smoke.
Hello, it's figurative.
It's not even about the money with you, is it, Violet? You get off on the thrill of it all. You feed on it.
Look, we're carving our niche in the world. Well-behaved women rarely make history.
And if you think about it, we might not have a choice in the matter. We botched our last jewel heist. They might force us to do this.
Violet nods along.
I don't care what they do. I'm not going to cut someone open and steal their kidney. That is my final answer. End of story.
Interior, seedy-looking house, early evening. Shirley is seated at the table, holding an envelope. Roxanne and Violet strut in. Shirley gets up.
Surely you remember Roxanne?
Sadly, yes.
Roxanne appears taken aback.
Where's the doc?
Chloe's gonna sit this one out.
That's a shame. Her medical training would have served quite well with this.
Shirley appears displeased.
Well, straight to the point. One of you has to be the bait. Disguise yourself, make sure you're unrecognizable.
Oh, I can do that.
Roxanne appears overeager. Shirley is clearly unimpressed.
Would you please excuse us, kiddo? Us grown-ups need to have a chat.
Roxanne gives Shirley a dirty look.
Yeah, sure. If you need me, I'll be playing on my swing set.
It's cool, Roxy. Just wait in the car and I'll be right out.
Roxanne sighs and exits out the door.
Violet, are you sure we can trust this druggie? Addicts spill secrets when they're using. There will be called a liability.
Roxanne's been clean for 2 years. She's in no danger of relapsing. She can be trusted with all of this.
Well, you better hope so.
Shirley hands Violet an envelope.
These are the instructions, including what motel you'll be checking into and what to do once you meet the victim.
Shirley hands Violet a bottle of pills.
These are the pills you'll use to drug him. Just put one in his wine glass when you're seducing him.
Shirley takes out a vial filled with the mysterious gold-colored liquid and hands it to Violet.
And this is something you'd use as an absolute last resort. If on the off chance the guy wakes up or someone sees you or catches you.
What the hell is it?
It's called merconite. It's, a deadly poison, works instantly, and is completely untraceable in an autopsy.
Violet holds the vial, gazing at it curiously.
Like I said, it's a last resort.
Violet nods and places the vial in her pocket.
Good luck, Violet.
Violet nods and leaves. Shirley watches her go. Right after she's gone, Carlito walks in from another room.
I knew my plan would work. I made sure I didn't tell them about the extra alarm in their instructions.
Shirley turns around and looks at Carlito.
Your idea to follow them in the building and hide behind that shipping container was brilliant. But you said they almost saw you when you knocked the crate off the pile.
Yeah, that was an accident. But I knew they'd screw the job up if I didn't tell them about the extra alarm. And then I could convince them they'd make it up to us by coming on board with this. Now we can use them as patsies if we ever need to.
Well, we just have to hope the doc will come on board too.
Interior, the Frost home dining room evening. Alan and Damon are sitting at the table, going over notes in a notebook. Alan appears stressed.
It looks like Senator Fernandez is ahead of me with the younger voters.
That's the thing, Dad. Fernandez is hip to today's youth. You need to find a way to tap into that too.
Alan appears insulted.
I can relate just fine to today's youth. What makes you think I'm not hip and cool?
I've seen your Village People collection.
What's wrong with the village people? They're hip and cool.
Damon pulls the lines.
I rest my case.
I came in 3rd place at my high school talent show for doing a YMCA dance.
Dad, please don't do the YMCA dance at your speech. Nobody wants to see that, least of all me.
I couldn't decide whether to dress up as the fireman or the construction worker. So, I went as the Indian.
God help us all.
Alan starts doing the partial dance. He does the hand movements, but does not stand up from the table. He starts singing.
YMCA, it's fun to stay at the YMCA.
Damon looks traumatized beyond repair. Karen walks in the room.
Not the YMCA dance again.
Welcome to my nightmare, Mom.
The fajitas are almost ready.
Please remember to put the green peppers in mine. Those red peppers give me gas.
Karen walks back into the kitchen. Damon rolls his eyes.
Congratulations, Dad. You almost went a full 5 minutes without mentioning your stupid gas.
So if I'm gonna sway the younger voters, I gotta show them there's more to me than just a gassy old buffoon who loves the village people.
Damon's phone sounds off that he received a text. He checks his phone and nods.
Looks like Roxanne won't be coming over for dinner after all. She has another charity function to attend.
You know, son, I really like Roxanne, and I'm glad she's joining our family. Your mother and I are happy you found a nice, wholesome girl like her.
Interior, beach house, living room, evening. Violet and Roxanne are seated on the living room couch. Violet scribbles notes in her notebook while Roxanne holds a red wig and gazes at it.
Can I be the bait?
That depends. Like Shirley said, we need to be unrecognizable. Not only by disguising ourselves, but in our voices too.
Yeah, that's why I was planning on doing an English accent.
No. You already tried doing an English accent for that play you were in back in middle school. It was fucking terrible.
Roxanne continues to fidget with the wig.
How about an Irish brogue? I'm half Irish anyway. And this is a red wig, so it'll be fitting.
If you do an Irish brogue, it has to be convincing. Let's test it out. Now, let's hear it.
Okay,
Roxanne pauses and attempts a half-assed Irish brogue.
someone's after me Lucky Charms!
Violet gazes blankly at Roxanne. Her mouth is agape.
And we must get me a crock of gold at the end of me rainbow.
No. That was awful.
Roxanne hands the wig to Violet. Violet fidgets with it.
I'll be the bait. And, I'll be...
Violet places the wig on her head crookedly. She begins talking in a fake southern drawl.
Be Lorelei. Oh, the sweet southern belle from Alabama, visiting the big city of Miami, and searching for a humdinger of a man to show little old me a fetching good time.
Series of shots. A. Violet is in the bathroom, placing the red wig on in front of the mirror. B. Violet is still in front of the bathroom mirror, putting dark brown contact lenses in her blue-green eyes. C. Violet is still in front of the bathroom mirror, attaching long fake eyelashes above her eyes. D. Violet is still in front of the bathroom mirror, putting on mascara, lipstick, and heavily caking on eyeshadow and blush. E. Violet and Roxanne are both in front of the bathroom mirror, making kissy faces at their reflections. Interior, motel front desk, evening. Violet checks into a motel, wearing the red wig, brown contact lenses, fake eyelashes, and heavily caked on makeup. The motel clerk hands her a room key. Violet hands him cash. Interior, dive bar, later that evening. Violet enters, still in full disguise. She's wearing a revealing cocktail dress as she gazes around the place and observes the people at the bar counter. Interior, bar counter, continuous. Violet takes a seat at a bar stool. Ethan, early 40s and good looking, is seated next to her. Ethan checks Violet out and smiles. He sips his beer and gives her a second look.
Hello.
Violet resumes the fake southern drawl.
Well, hi there.
Can I buy you a drink?
Well, that'd be mighty kind of you. Well, I'll have an Alabama Slammer.
Ethan signals to the bartender.
One Alabama Slammer, please.
What's your name, Sugar Bridget?
I'm Ethan.
Oh, well, howdy, Ethan. I'm Lorelai.
Violet extends her hand. Ethan shakes it. The bartender brings Lorelei her drink. Violet takes a sip.
These Alabama slammers are mighty fine, but they don't make them here like they do in Alabama. That's where I'm from. I came to Miami for my grandpappy's funeral, and I'm fixing to find me a city boy to have a dandy old time with while I'm here.
Ethan smiles and pauses.
Then you've come to the right place, Lorelei. I'd be happy to show you around.
Well, bless your heart, Ethan. Your mama didn't raise no fool.
Violet takes another sip from the drink.
I even got me a motel room right here across the street.
Interior, motel room, kitchen, moments later. There are 2 glasses on the counter. Violet pours wine into one, then the other. She takes out a pill and places it into one of the wine glasses. The pill dissolves in the wine. Interior, motel bed, continuous. Ethan is seated upright on the bed. He adjusts his shirt collar. Violet walks in with the 2 wine glasses. She hands one of them to Ethan and takes a seat beside him on the bed. Ethan kisses the side of Violet's face. Violet giggles and rebuffs him.
I reckon we should finish this here wine first.
Ethan sips from the wine glass. Violet downs half of hers.
So, tell me about yourself, Sugar Britches. What do you do for a living?
I'm a tax attorney.
Oh, heavens to Betsy, I could use someone like y'all when I do my taxes. I never know what in tarnation I'm doing.
Ethan takes another sip. He starts to look lethargic. Violet takes notice of this.
You can use me, or whatever you want.
Ethan drops the rest of his wine glass and taps it on the bed. A look of satisfaction shows on Violet's face. Her voice returns to its normal sound.
He's out, Roxy.
Roxanne exits from the bathroom. She's holding a mini cooler in one hand and a scalpel in the other.
Let's get down to business.
Interior, the girls' beach house, living room, same time. Chloe is seated on the couch, holding Duchess in her arms. She uses the remote to change channels on the television. Intercut, television, beach house, living room. A commercial is on. Chloe changes it to the news. Jill Danvers is giving the report, speaking directly into her microphone.
And the authorities have yet to catch the jewel thief, or thieves, responsible for the Blue Lagoon building jewel heist that took place Saturday night. We'll have more as this develops.
Chloe glares at the television with a look of guilt.
In other news, a hurricane is about to hit the coast of Florida, mainly affecting the Fort Lauderdale area, as well as Miami, particularly the South Beach and Coconut Grove sections.
Chloe uses the remote to turn the television off.
The last thing we need is another savage storm.
Chloe cuddles Duchess up to her face.
Looks like it's just you and me, Duchess. Well, it's you and me against the world.
Interior, motel room, same time. Violet places Ethan's kidney into the mini cooler and shuts it. She takes out a roll of duct tape and a cell phone.
Now, the instructions say we have to duct tape this burner cell phone to his right hand so he can call for help when he wakes up.
Ethan still lies unconscious on the floor, shirtless and with a bloody gash above his right kidney. Roxanne applies pressure to the gash and feels around him. She appears confused.
Violet? Is it normal for people to stop breathing when you take out their kidney?
What are you babbling about?
Dude's not breathing.
Violet shakes Ethan and slaps his face. His body still appears lifeless. Violet and Roxanne appear frantic.
Fuck. We need to get Chloe down here.
Interior, motel room, moments later. Roxanne and Violet sit there, tending to Ethan's seemingly lifeless body. A knock is heard at the door. Roxanne gets up, looks through the viewer, opens it, and lets Chloe in. Chloe is carrying her medical bag. She walks over to Ethan.
We took his right kidney out, and now he's not even breathing.
How deep did you cut him?
We did what the instructions said.
Chloe pulls her stethoscope out of her medical bag. She puts it on.
Well, He's dead.
What?
Roxanne and Violet both cover their faces with their hands.
Nice going, girls.
Oh, damn, we really fucked this up.
Yeah, no shit. I told you it was insane to get involved in this black market kidney bullshit, but nobody ever listens to Chloe.
Chloe reaches for her cell phone. Violet puts a hand over it.
Whoa, what do you think you're doing?
I'm calling this in.
Oh, no, you are not. There will be too many questions. They'll see him here without his kidney, and they'll know what we were doing. We have to dispose of his body. Like, I don't want to do it either, but we don't have any other choice.
Violet, this is a human being.
Chloe, we'll all go to prison. You'll be kicked out of medical school, and you'll never become a surgeon. This is the only way.
Chloe ponders. She shuts her eyes and takes a deep breath. Violet gestures to Chloe and Roxanne.
So, ladies, you up for a little road trip to the Everglades?
Exterior parking lot, trunk of Violet's car. Moments later, Violet opens the trunk. Chloe and Roxanne lug a giant bag filled with Ethan's body and toss it in. Violet shuts the trunk. Interior, Violet's car. Moments later, the car pulls up to the parking lot of an all-night grocery store. Roxanne sits in the passenger seat. Chloe's in back.
Just making a quick stop.
Interior grocery store aisle, moments later. Violet, Chloe, and Roxanne are in the frozen meat aisle. Roxanne and Violet take 4 large hams and place them in their shopping cart. Chloe looks confused.
Why are we buying these hams?
Because I've heard that alligators can be extremely fickle eaters.
Exterior, Everglades, remote swamp, hour later. Violet, Roxanne, and Chloe lug Ethan's body. They've tied the large hams to both of his arms and both of his legs. They toss the body into the swamp and make their way up to a small hill. Intercut. Hill above the swamp, swamp below. Roxanne lights a cigarette. Violet, Roxanne, and Chloe watch as alligators devour Ethan's dead body. They each have guilty, sullen looks on their faces.
We never wanted to come to this, Chloe, but we need you to be on board with us so nothing like this ever happens again.
She's right, Chloe. Roxy and I don't know what the hell we're doing. You're the one with the medical knowledge. So to keep these people safe when we take their kidneys, to keep them alive, we need you to do this with us. There's no other option.
Chloe nods her head as a tear rolls down her cheek. Roxanne takes another drag from her cigarette. Violet, Chloe, and Roxanne continue to watch as the alligators eat the rest of Ethan's body and the hams. Chloe turns around, kneels down, and vomits at the sight of this. Roxanne and Violet hold her hair back, as Violet also rubs her back. Interior, beach house, hour later. Violet, Roxanne, and Chloe enter the house. They appear weary and fatigued.
I need some fucking sleep.
Ditto for me.
Violet and Roxanne walk toward their respective bedrooms. Violet sees Duchess on the floor, scoops her up, and brings her to bed with her. Chloe walks toward the kitchen. Interior, kitchen, refrigerator area, continuous. Chloe walks in. She takes a deep breath as another tear rolls down her cheek. She reaches into the refrigerator, takes out a bottle of whiskey, shuts the refrigerator door, and takes a big swig from the bottle. She takes another breath and another swig. Interior, beach house, Chloe's bedroom sometime later. Chloe tosses and turns. She's clearly unable to sleep. She gets out of her bed. Interior, bathroom, sink, and mirror area. Moment later. Chloe runs the faucet and splashes her face with water. She grabs the towel from the rack, dries her face with it, and looks in the mirror as she talks to herself.
Chloe Maxine Chamberlain, what the hell have you done?
Interior, beach house, late morning. Chloe walks out of her bedroom, Roxanne sits on the couch watching television. Chloe appears.
Morning, sunshine. How'd you sleep?
I couldn't sleep. Where's Violet?
Roxanne shrugs. Violet enters the beach house with a large amount of cash in hand. She appears cheerful and giddy.
Well, hello, my beautiful babies. I just delivered Ethan's kidney to Shirley and Carlito. Look what they gave me.
Violet hands a bunch of cash to Roxanne.
Here's your cut.
Sweet.
Roxanne accepts the cash. Violet hands a wad of cash to Chloe.
And your cut.
Chloe rolls the cash up and puts it in her pocket.
Did you tell them what happened with Ethan?
Nope. They didn't ask. They just needed a kidney, and I delivered it to them. They even gave us our next job. We're doing this again tomorrow.
Hang on a sec. We need to talk. If you need me on board due to my medical knowledge, I have a couple conditions. Mainly, I need to have full control. That's the only way this can work.
Fine. You want control? You got it.
Violet gives Chloe a look.
But be careful. There's only room for one defiant bitch in our little trio.
Interior bar the following night. Caleb Westbrook, early 20s, handsome, tall, and athletic, sits at the bar counter, talking silently without speech to the other patrons. Violet approaches, this time wearing a curly blonde wig, the brown contact lenses, and fake eyelashes. She waves to Caleb. Caleb sips his drink. He immediately takes notice of Violet.
Hey, my name's Caleb.
Hey, Caleb. I'm Marcia.
Marcia smiles flirtatiously at Caleb. They shake hands.
Nice to meet you, Marcia. I'd love to chat more, but I have an early game tomorrow. I need to turn in. I rented an awesome new apartment right down the road.
Wow. I'd love to see it.
Would you now?
Interior, Caleb's luxury apartment living room. Sometime later. Violet sits alone on the couch. There are 2 wine glasses on the coffee table in front of her. She drops a pill into one of the glasses. The sound of a flushing toilet is heard. Violet sits back as Caleb enters and sits next to her on the couch.
It's a nice place you have here.
Thanks, Marcia. I just moved in.
Caleb kisses Violet's neck. Violet rebuffs him and hands him his wine glass.
First, a toast to new acquaintances.
I'll drink to that.
Caleb and Violet clink their glasses together and drink. Caleb takes a big gulp. He kisses Violet's lips. Their kiss becomes more intense and passionate. Caleb lifts his arm, and Violet removes his shirt. In the middle of the kiss, Caleb passes out shirtless on the couch. Violet takes out her cell phone and dials. Interior, Caleb's apartment moments later. Violet lets Chloe and Roxanne in. Roxanne is carrying the mini cooler while Chloe is carrying the scalpel and her medical bag. Roxanne gazes around in awe.
Damn, this is one kick-ass apartment. What does this guy do?
Interior, Caleb's living room couch area, continuous. Chloe, Roxanne, and Violet take a seat on the couch beside Caleb's unconscious body. Chloe gives Caleb a curious look.
I know this guy. I've seen him before. I don't know where, but I know I've seen him before.
No, you haven't.
What's his name, Violet?
I don't remember. I think he said like Calvin or Kermit or something.
Chloe reaches into Caleb's back pocket, takes out his wallet, and reads his driver's license.
Caleb Westbrook. That sounds so familiar. I know this guy from somewhere.
There's a pause. Roxanne shrugs.
Are we doing this or what?
Violet, Chloe, and Roxanne each put rubber gloves on. Chloe uses the scalpel to make a deep incision in Caleb's right hip, getting ready to extract his kidney.
Interior beach house kitchen, next morning. Roxanne and Violet are seated at the table. Chloe stands up while reading the newspaper. Interior, newspaper headline continuous. Headline reads, Baseball rookie latest victim of kidney bandit. Interior, back to beach house kitchen, continuous. Chloe's face shows a guilty look.
That's where I knew that guy from. Caleb Westbrook. I knew I'd seen his face and heard his name before. He's the new rookie third baseman drafted into the Marlins. He had a grand slam and 2 RBIs in his last game, on the fast track to being a real star.
Chloe tosses the newspaper on the table.
There is no way he'll be able to continue playing baseball with only one kidney. Poor guy had a real future ahead of him, and we just ruined his whole fucking career.
Don't worry. Look, we're in the clear. Like, the authorities will be looking for a blonde-haired, brown-eyed girl named Marcia, because that's who we met, and that's who he'll describe to them. Not a greenish, blue-eyed brunette named Violet.
Is that all you care about? Being in the clear? This was a young baseball rookie whose whole future we just ruined. He's only 22 years old. Can you even grasp the gravity of this? Can you?
Roxanne's face shows a guilty look. Violet appears indifferent.
Look, he'll find a new career. Local Walmart needs plenty of cashiers. He can do that with only one kidney.
Chloe and Roxanne glare at Violet. Chloe heads towards the door.
Where are you going?
Mercy Hospital. I'm gonna get a blood test to see if my kidney is a match for Caleb's. If it is, I'm gonna just donate it to him.
Violet rises and gets in Chloe's way.
Wait just a second.
That way, he can still play baseball. It's the least I can do for him.
A total stranger offering up her kidney. You don't think that would look suspicious? You don't think that's something the authorities would immediately look into? Come on, Chloe. Think. You have to be a smarter criminal than that.
Chloe pauses and thinks.
And being in medical school, you should know that the kidney transplant doesn't automatically mean his health and baseball career will be fully restored.
Chloe takes a deep breath.
Look, let's just all deliver Caleb's kidney to Shirley and Carlita. Then we can use some of our money to treat ourselves to a nice shopping spree at the mall later.
The mall? Are you kidding me? How can you even think of a shopping spree at a time like this?
Chloe walks off toward her bedroom.
Interior, local mall department store afternoon. Violet and Roxanne are searching through a bunch of tops and pants on hangers. Roxanne is carrying a black Hot Topic bag in one hand.
I can't believe you shopped at Hot Topic. Still, like you're back in high school.
I like it. It's my style.
I will never understand why.
They continue looking through the clothes.
Yeah, I gotta say, Roxy, I don't know if Chloe can really hack this. She's starting to worry me.
And that surprises you? You know this isn't Chloe's thing. And I can see where she's coming from. This is some pretty outlaw shit we've gotten ourselves into.
Oh, don't tell me I need to start worrying about you now, too.
Roxanne shrugs. Violet pulls out a sundress and shows it to her.
How do you think this top would look on me?
Totally banging.
I'm gonna go try it on.
And I could use a breath of fresh smoke.
Exterior mall department store entrance, moments later. Roxanne exits the department store, stands outside the mall, and lights a cigarette. She's approached by Dragon, a half-Asian, half-Hispanic, wearing baggy jeans belted halfway down to his knees, a do-rag on his head, a baggy shirt with a big H on it, and a gold chain.
Yo, can I bum a cig?
Roxanne shrugs. She gives Dragon a cigarette, takes out her lighter, and lights it for her.
Thanks, Roxanne.
Roxanne takes a drag from her cigarette and gazes at Dragon with curiosity.
Do I know you? You look familiar.
You used to know me. They call me Dragon. I think you know why. You used to chase the dragon, didn't you, Roxy?
A look of realization shows on Roxanne's face. She appears embarrassed. and immediately looks away, avoiding eye contact.
Yeah, well, heroin's not my thing anymore. I'm clean 2 years, I'm engaged, and on to better things.
Sure. You keep telling yourself that. When you change your mind, I'm sure you'll remember exactly where to find me.
Dragon chuckles, takes another drag from the cigarette, and walks away. Roxanne gives Dragon a scornful look.
Yeah, fuck off.
Violet exits the mall carrying a plastic shopping bag. She approaches Roxanne and holds her bag up.
Well, how about the top? Picked up a nice sundress too.
Violet gazes at Roxanne and sees Dragon walking away.
Who's he?
Some dude who tried to pick up on me. I had to tell him I'm engaged.
What's with the H on his shirt?
Roxanne shrugs. She looks away from Violet and takes another drag from her cigarette.
He's a heroin dealer, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I didn't buy from him. I told him to fuck off.
Good. Keep it that way. If you relapse, it'll destroy everything we built up to. Not to mention, you'll lose your focus. Without your focus, this is no good.
Roxanne is still looking away. She tips out an ash and begins to take another drag. In mid-drag, Violet yanks the cigarette away from Roxanne and carelessly throws it off to the sides, looking like she means business.
Look at me, Roxy.
Roxanne finally looks Violet in the eye.
Do not get any ideas. You understand?
Roxanne slowly nods.
Interior beach house living room, hour later. Violet holds the sundress from the hanger over her clothes as she looks in the mirror. Roxanne sits on the couch, holding Duchess in her arms. Chloe walks in, clearly displeased.
I still haven't found a match for Caleb Westerbrook's kidney. We'll probably have to go on dialysis.
A look of guilt shows on Roxanne's face. Violet continues to check out her clothes in the mirror. Chloe appears annoyed.
Meanwhile, Ethan's going to be reported as missing soon. And all you can focus on is your brand new wardrobe.
Easy, Chloe. You're panicking.
Well, I'd say that these scenarios more than qualify as panic-worthy. You may want to take a cue from me.
Bitch, you need to check your conscience at the door, cause
Shut up!
Chloe and Violet's heads both turn to face Roxanne. With Duchess still in her lap, Roxanne stands up and Duchess races out of the living room. Roxanne can clearly take it no longer.
Both of you, just shut up!
Chloe and Violet's heads both turn to face Roxanne. Roxanne stands up and can clearly no longer take it. Chloe and Violet appear speechless by Roxanne's outburst.
We have dug ourselves into such a deep hole here.
I know how serious this is, Roxy. If we get caught, we'll be in federal prison until we reach menopause.
Yeah, that's if we're lucky. If they find out about our little secret in the Everglades too, they'll be releasing us from prison into a nursing home where we'll be fitted for adult diapers. We'll be telling a bunch of orderlies about our glory days doing jewel heists. They'll assume we're senile and cart us off in our wheelchairs while they check their watches and count the minutes until our next smoke break.
Roxanne pauses again and takes a deep breath.
Speaking of smoke breaks, I need a cigarette. Fuck this.
Roxanne storms out of the beach house, slamming the door shut on her way out. Interior, church basement, Narcotics Anonymous meeting, early evening. Roxanne sits in a chair, appearing anxious and twitchy while drinking a cup of coffee. Trish, late 20s and Hispanic with a wide-eyed girl next door look, sits next to her. She's also drinking a cup of coffee while looking anxious and twitchy.
Staying clean, it's just so hard sometimes, so much temptation, to relapse everywhere I go. When I get really stressed, it just becomes too much, and I don't think I can take it anymore.
Roxanne sips her coffee and nods her head with sympathy and understanding at Trish's words. There's a group of people sitting in a circle in chairs. The facilitator sits across from Roxanne and Trish in the circle. Trish sips her coffee.
Hey, that's very good, Trish. We all get that temptation. Now, let it out.
It's just, I lie awake at night and I can't sleep. Cause I want to get high so bad. And everything I deal with, like my boyfriend's always fighting with me. And my parents on my ass, about staying clean and finding a job. It's just too much.
Roxanne continues to nod with sympathy and understanding, but stops all of a sudden.
Wait, what?
Roxanne, there's something you'd like to say?
Fights with your boyfriend? Nagging parents? You totally had me up until then. I could stay clean standing on my head if that was all I had to deal with.
Trish fiddles with her hair as her eyes well up.
Do you know how easy those things are to escape? When your back's to the wall and you're facing a problem there's no turning back from, then you can talk to me about real temptation to relapse.
Please don't trivialize my life. I resisted temptation last night.
Well, aren't you the cat's pajamas?
Roxanne, what's on your mind?
Trish is bawling her eyes out. She looks to the facilitator.
Well, why is she stifling me? Just like my parents and my boyfriend.
Roxanne stands up and looks down at Trish with disgust.
Everyone else in this room is just gonna blow sunshine up your ass, but I'll give it to you straight. There's a great big shit ugly world out there, and turning on the waterworks won't save you from it.
You're making me uncomfortable.
Yeah, Trish, if you leave me your number, I'll call you when your comfort becomes important to me. And do yourself a favor, sugar tits, don't wait by the phone.
The facilitator intervenes.
Roxanne, now whatever you need to say, let it out. We're here for you two.
This program is a goddamn joke. Makes me sick.
Roxanne chugs the rest of her coffee, walks toward the door, tosses her cup in the wastebasket, and storms out. Trish cries. Exterior, church basement entrance, steps and sidewalk. Moment later, Roxanne pushes the doors open and exits. A green car is parked near the sidewalk. Roxanne walks further, and the green car follows her without her knowledge. Exterior, back alleyway, night. Dragon hands something to a thug, who hands him money and walks off. Roxanne enters the alley and approaches him. She appears twitchy and desperate. Dragon smiles.
Roxy, I knew you'd be back.
Shut the fuck up and give me a gram.
Dragon hands Roxanne a bag. Roxanne hands him cash. She puts the bag of heroin in her pocket and exits the alley. Exterior, side street across from alleyway. Same time. The green car has followed and appears to be spying on Roxanne. Jill Danvers is revealed as the person in the car. She observes Roxanne walking out of the alley and slumps down. She takes out her cell phone and dials.
Eddie, it's me. You won't believe this. I just saw Roxanne Tinsley buying drugs from some dealer in an alleyway. Probably heroin. Earlier, when I caught her leaving that church basement, she was probably there for an NA meeting. Something tells me she wasn't auditioning for the choir.
There's a short pause. Jill nods.
Yeah, I knew there was something more going on with her. The fiance of our future mayor's son was buying drugs. I told you there was another news story. Imagine if she does know more about the Blue Lagoon heist. Imagine if she's behind it somehow. I'm probably sitting on like 8 different Pulitzer Prizes here. This is gonna be hot.
An evil smile registers on Jill's face.
Well, that's what anonymous phone calls are for. I think my friends at the Bureau would love to hear about this.
Exterior, beach house, Roxanne's bedroom, later that night. Roxanne sits on her bed holding a spoon. The bag of heroin rests beside her. She places some of the contents in the spoon and uses her lighter to burn the heroin from the bottom of the spoon, melting it into liquid. She takes out a syringe. Series of shots. A. While holding the plastic part of the syringe between her teeth horizontally, Roxanne wraps a tourniquet tightly around her upper arm. B. Taking the syringe out of her teeth, Roxanne holds the sharp end of it up to the spoon, extracting the heroin from the spoon into the syringe. C. Roxanne uses the syringe to inject the heroin into her arm. Her black eyeliner and mascara have both run from her eyes and smeared down her face, making her look like a strung-out raccoon. Interior, Roxanne's bedroom a few moments later. Roxanne sits on her floor, leaning against her bed. She's still strung out. The black eyeliner and mascara are still smeared down her face from her eyes. Heavy metal music blasts loudly. The front door is heard opening from off-screen. Off-screen.
God damn it, Roxy. What did I tell you about blasting your music too loud?
Violet enters the bedroom. She takes notice of the spoon and needle next to Roxanne and the tourniquet wrapped around her arm. Looks of anger and rage suddenly encompass Violet's face.
What the fuck?
I just couldn't take it anymore.
You relapsed. You fucking relapsed!
Violet slaps Roxanne's face 3 times. She grabs Roxanne by the back of her hair and escorts her out of her bedroom. Interior, bathroom, continuous. Violet drags Roxanne in, forcing her to look in the mirror.
See? Look at you. You look like shit. You weak, pathetic, junky bitch. You're lucky I don't slam your face right in that goddamn mirror.
Violet turns Roxanne around and shoves her onto the floor.
Where's the rest of your stash, huh? I'm gonna flush that shit.
Interior, Roxanne's bedroom, end table, continuous. Violet enters and pilfers through the drawer on Roxanne's end table. She takes out the bag with the remaining heroin.
God damn it, what was she thinking? She's gonna fuck up our whole operation.
Violet pauses as her face lights up with an idea. She reaches into her pocket and takes out the vial of merconite that Shirley previously had given her. She glares at it. Voiceover.
It's called merconite. It's a deadly poison, and it works instantly. And it's completely untraceable in an autopsy.
Violet takes a deep breath. Voiceover continued.
Addicts spill secrets when they're using. They're what we call a liability.
Violet uncaps the vial. Interior, bathroom, moments later. Roxanne is still on the floor. Violet enters.
You gonna flush my stash?
I was gonna. But I'm not your goddamn babysitter. This is on you. You wanna self-destruct? You wanna flame out? Then have at it.
Violet throws the bag of heroin at Roxanne, pelting her with it.
But you're on your own. I'm done.
Roxanne meekly lifts her arm to her head and places the drugs in her pocket. Violet turns around. Her face shows a look of struggle and slight guilt. She breathes a sigh and leaves. Chloe enters the house and walks into the bathroom. Interior, bathroom continuous. Chloe approaches Roxanne. She's still strung out, but conscious. Chloe pulls up Roxanne's arm, sees the tourniquet wrapped around it and the track marks. Looks of frantic worry and genuine concern fill Chloe's face. She tenderly touches Roxanne's cheek.
Oh my God, Roxy.
Chloe?
That's right, it's me. I'm here.
A tear runs down Roxanne's cheek.
I really messed up, Chloe.
I know. I did too. But it's gonna be okay.
Chloe helps Roxanne up. Interior, kitchen table area, 15 minutes later. Roxanne sits down. Chloe hands her a cup of tea and takes a seat next to her.
You've been doing so well. 2 years clean. I've been so proud of you.
I thought about how far this has gone and how I'm lying to Damon.
But you love Damon, right?
Yeah, I guess. When we got together, it was a nice change. Every other guy I've dated was a musician, a thug, or a drug dealer. They used me until there was nothing left of me to use. But here's finally this guy who has his shit together and who's genuine, came from a good family, handsome as hell,
Chloe and Roxanne both smile.
And when he asked me to marry him, I thought, here's my ticket out of all of this. I get to marry into the Frost family. I no longer have to be Roxanne the drug addict or Roxanne the jewel thief. This is my chance at a fresh start to a new life.
Roxanne sips her tea.
But the way things have spun out of control with Caleb and Ethan, I realized this is just who I am. There's no fresh start for me. I'll never escape this life. It's all I know.
Roxanne breaks down and cries uncontrollably.
But you're wrong about that. You have
No.
so much.
What was wrong was me thinking I could ever amount to more. I just figure if I'm gonna go down anyway, I might as well go down doing what I do best. Nothing to lose now.
Chloe hands Roxanne a tissue, and Roxanne dries her tears.
You have so much to offer this world, Roxy. Damon wouldn't have asked you to marry him if he didn't love you.
He loves what I've deceived him into thinking I am. He's the mayor's son. I'm a junkie and a criminal. In what universe would we even cross paths, let alone get engaged? Fun while it lasted, right? Time for the fairy godmother to turn me into a pumpkin. Bippity boppity goddamn boo.
Violet was too blind to see what this would become. We agreed to come on board, but I should have tried harder to talk her out of this. We created a monster.
Roxanne pauses, gazes blankly at Chloe, and shakes her head.
Chloe, Violet backed us into a corner. She made us think we had no other choice but to go along with her. She turned us into her two marionettes, and she's the puppet master pulling our strings. She practically molded us out of clay.
Roxanne sniffles and wipes her tears again. She sips her tea again and doesn't make eye contact with Chloe.
So now, Chloe, you got it all wrong. We didn't create a monster.
Roxanne still avoids eye contact, but is clearly deep in thought.
The monster created us.
There's a long pause. Chloe and Roxanne gaze silently at each other. The sound of heavy winds, rainfall, and thunder are heard from outside. They look toward the kitchen window.
Looks like that hurricane they've been mentioning on the news is coming sooner than we thought.
I'm gonna go find Violet and talk some sense into her. It's what she needs.
No. This lifestyle's corrupted her beyond repair. Whatever hope you have of the old Violet returning, just let it go. She's way too far gone.
I refuse to believe that.
Chloe rises from the table. Roxanne dries the rest of her tears.
You need anything while I'm out?
Roxanne appears hesitant to ask.
Actually, yeah. Give me up some smokes, I'm almost out.
Chloe picks up her purse and rolls her eyes.
Fine.
Maybe a scratch ticket too? You never know when my luck will return.
Chloe nods her head and gives Roxanne a look. She smiles and leans down. The two hug one another last time.
Everything will be fine, Roxy. I promise you. We'll get through this.
Roxanne cries silently on Chloe's shoulder. She breaks from the hug and wipes her tears again. Chloe heads toward the door.
Chloe,
Chloe turns around, facing Roxanne.
thank you.
Chloe nods. The two make eye contact one final time, and Chloe walks out the door. Chloe nods. The two make eye contact one final time, and Chloe walks out the door. Exterior, beach, outside beach house deck, continuous. The heavy wind and rainfall continues as the thunder roars. Chloe walks down the deck toward her car. Exterior, beach area by deck, continuous. Chloe continues to walk. She spots Violet about to pass her and grabs her by the arm. The two walk further onto the beach.
We need to talk, Violet.
Exterior, middle of beach shore area, continuous. Chloe and Violet stand and face each other. Violet has a scalpel in her right hand. Chloe peers at it.
Why do you have that?
I went to see Shirley and Carlito. They're doing a job for us.
Forget about that. We have a huge problem. Roxy relapsed.
Violet gazes blankly at Chloe and says nothing. She places the scalpel in her pocket. Chloe appears surprised.
What? You know?
I fail to see how that's our problem. She betrayed us.
Because she started using again, she needs help, Violet. We need to finally put this blood money to good use and get her the best treatment we can. She's our friend and she needs us. We can't turn our backs on her because she slipped.
Violet snickers and looks away. The storm is still brewing. Chloe and Violet are dripping wet from the rain.
Always the Girl Scout, aren't you, Chloe? That's the part about you that never impressed me.
There's no blood on my hands.
You really believe that? You helped dispose of Ethan's body, remember? Or was that just a hologram of Chloe Chamberlain that night in the Everglades?
Yes, Violet, I was there. But I wasn't complicit in his death.
Open your goddamn eyes, Chloe. You think because you do this for a noble cause, it makes you any different than me? No. No, you're still a criminal, and there's no two ways around that. So don't go around acting like you're Robin Hood with tits.
Wrong, Violet. I'm not like you at all. Unlike you, I have trouble dealing with what we did. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I can't live with myself. It makes me sick to the center of my soul. So much so that I decided I'm going to turn myself in.
There's a short pause. Violet appears appalled.
Oh, don't worry. I won't implicate you or Roxy. I'll say it was like a solo operation that I did it by myself.
Are you fucking kidding me? They'll never believe that. A simple investigation from there will lead straight to us. And they'll get the truth out of you. So, no. You're not turning yourself in.
Yes, I definitely am. And I'll just take full blame. But first things first, Violet, right now we need to focus on getting Roxy help.
Trust me. I've already given her the only help she's gonna get.
What does that mean? What did you do?
Chloe turns and faces toward the beach house. She's about to walk toward it when Violet grabs hold of her arm to stop her. Chloe and Violet gaze into each other's eyes with scornful looks. Chloe pulls her arm away from Violet's hands. Violet grabs Chloe's arm again. Chloe uses her other arm to elbow Violet and break free from her grip. She begins to run toward the house when Violet tackles her onto the sand. Chloe pulls Violet's hair in an attempt to get her off her. Violet punches Chloe and pushes her toward the water. Exterior, shore of beach, continuous. Chloe and Violet are wrestling on the shore as the waves break on top of them and the heavy rain pours down on them. Violet is on top of Chloe and puts her hands around Chloe's neck. Chloe scratches the side of Violet's face, making 4 gashes on her left cheek. Violet falls back and touches her cheek in pain. In a fit of rage, Violet takes the scalpel out of her pocket and slashes Chloe's throat with it. Blood oozes from Chloe's neck and mouth. She loses consciousness, and within a few seconds, she dies from the slash wound. Violet's face shows a look of panic. Lightning flashes. The thunder resumes roaring, and the rain pours down even harder. Violet stands up and gazes at Chloe's dead body as the waves break on top of it. Chloe's blood is all over Violet's shirt.
Oh, fuck.
Violet runs toward the house, her look of panic remaining. Exterior, garbage cans near the house, continuous. Violet removes a lid from one of the garbage cans. She takes her bloody shirt off, throws it in the garbage can, and slams the lid back on it. She runs toward the driveway in her bra. Exterior, driveway of beach house, continuous. Violet's convertible sits in the driveway. The top is up on it. Violet scurries into it and shuts the door. Interior, Violet's car, continuous. Violet sits in the driver's seat. She reaches into her back seat, pulls out a t-shirt, and quickly puts it on. She starts the car. Exterior, driveway outside the car, continuous. Violet's car speeds out of the driveway like a bat out of hell, and it drives away at top speed as the tires screech. Interior, beach house, living room, couch area, hour later. Roxanne sits on the couch, shaking and clearly going through withdrawals as the sounds of rain and thunder are heard from outside, with the hurricane vastly approaching.
What's taking Chloe so goddamn long?
Roxanne takes out her cell phone, checks the time, dials a number, and quickly puts the phone up to her ear.
Come on, Chloe, pick up.
The sound of a cell phone ringing is heard from the other end of the house. Roxanne appears angry.
And she left her phone here. Fuck!
Roxanne angrily throws her cell phone across the room as she continues to shake from withdrawals. She takes out a cigarette and tries to light it. She keeps trying, but her lighter won't produce a flame. Frustrated, Roxanne throws the lighter and the cigarette across the room. She stands up and walks toward her bedroom. Interior, Violet's car, moments later. Violet drives fast with the top up on a convertible. She has a look of steely determination in her eyes. Interior, beach house, Roxanne's bedroom, moments later. Roxanne has a tourniquet wrapped around her left arm. She has a syringe in her right hand filled with the heroin that Violet had previously poisoned with mercantite. Violet gets ready to inject the poisoned heroin into her arm when the sound of someone busting in is heard from the front door, causing Roxanne to startle and drop the syringe on her bedroom floor. Series of shots. A group of police detectives and federal agents burst into the beach house through the front door. They search all around the living room. The agents and detectives have Roxanne face down on the ground as they cuff her and arrest her. They take her syringe of heroin and place it in a plastic evidence bag. C. The agents and detectives escort Roxanne out of the house in handcuffs as the paramedics are at the shore, placing Chloe's dead body in a body bag and zipping it up. Even though she's cuffed, Roxanne falls to her knees and cries upon seeing Chloe's dead body being put into the body bag. The rain, wind, and thunder are still raging heavily. Interior, Federal Headquarters interrogation room, hours later. Roxanne sits at the interrogation table. Her eyes are red and puffy from crying. She's shaking and staring into the distance. In walks Agent Robert Garrison, 50s, with thinning salt and pepper hair. He's carrying plastic evidence bags in both hands. Following him into the room is U.S. Attorney Barbara Moser, middle-aged, stone-faced, homely-looking, and haggish. She has a stick-in-her-ass walk and a cold-blooded look on her face like she's determined to put a wet blanket on somebody's fun.
Roxanne, this is Agent Robert Garrison. I'm U.S. Attorney Barbara Moser, federal prosecutor. You are in deep shit, young lady.
We're really sorry about your roommate, Chloe. The way you broke down when you saw her body, that looked genuine. We don't think you killed her, but we can't seem to find your other roommate, Violet Dupree. Why is that?
Roxanne stares off into the distance, not saying a word. Moser places crime scene photos of Chloe's dead body on the table and shows them to Roxanne. She snaps her fingers in Roxanne's face.
Hey, look alive, Tinsley. That heroin you had on you is enough to put you in a federal lockup.
Agent Garrison holds up the evidence bag with the curly blonde wig that Violet previously wore, along with the contact lens tray.
In your bathroom, we found this wig and brown contact lenses. I'm sure you heard all about Caleb Westbrook of the Marlins.
Roxanne's face shows a guilty look.
He reported picking up a curly blonde woman with brown eyes at a bar and taking her home the night before. The next morning, she was mysteriously gone.
And so was his kidney.
Agent Garrison pulls out another evidence bag with jewels.
These jewels match the description of the jewels stolen from the Blue Lagoon building. I'm sure you heard about the recent heist on the news. Our medical examiner says Chloe's slash wound is likely from a scalpel, which was also used to cut open Caleb Westbrook before his kidney was stolen. Now, if you don't confirm for us that Violet Dupree was involved, this could all fall on you.
Roxanne continues to stare off in the distance and say nothing. Moser gestures to Agent Garrison.
Bob, why don't you tell her what else our medical examiner said?
The heroin you were about to inject into your arm when we arrested you, it was laced with mercantite, an untraceable poison. Would have killed you instantly. We saved your life by arresting you. Now either you have a very vindictive dealer, or Violet discovered you were using, assumed you'd talk, and laced it there to shut you up for good.
If it was Violet in here, she'd sell you out in a heartbeat. Don't be delusional. There's no such thing as honor among thieves.
Agent Garrison takes a cell phone out of another evidence bag.
This was Chloe's cell phone. She recorded a little something on it. Watch.
Garrison presses a button on the phone and shows it to Roxanne. Interior, Chloe's cell phone video recording continuous. Chloe is making a recording of herself on her phone.
Hello, my name is Chloe Maxine Chamberlain. I live on 14 Manning Street in South Beach. I just finished my second year of medical school at the University of Miami. For the past 2 years, I've been moonlighting as a jewel thief to pay my tuition. I'm the one responsible for heists at both Blue Lagoon and Flamingo Tower. I was the one who stole Caleb Westbrook's kidney and that local man, Ethan Edwards, who went missing. Well, he's not missing. He's dead.
Chloe starts to cry in the video.
I accidentally killed him while taking out his kidney too. Then I dumped his body like garbage in the Everglades and fed it to the alligators. I am deeply ashamed and remorseful of my actions. I'd also like to add that this was a solo venture I've been running on my own. I had no accomplices and no help from anyone. I am prepared to take whatever punishment I have coming.
Chloe dries her tears.
I make this confession of sound mind and body, and of my own free will, with no coercion, and under no duress.
Interior, back to the interrogation room, continuous. Tears are rolling down Roxanne's cheek as Agent Garrison shuts the video off and puts down the phone.
Chloe Chamberlain had a 4.0 GPA and was on the dean's list. Her record was spotless. Never been arrested, not even a parking ticket. There was no way in hell she was running a criminal enterprise on her own. And with her medical expertise, any incision made by her wouldn't have killed someone. She had to have help. And if you don't give us Violet, we're gonna pin it all on you.
Roxanne is still crying and can't get the words out.
And dumping a body in the Everglades? Someone Chloe's size could never carry an adult male body and dispose of it without help. We know it wasn't just her.
Agent Garrison puts an evidence bag on the table filled with Violet's bloody shirt.
We found this shirt in your garbage. The medical examiner already confirmed it's Chloe Chamberlain's blood. Whoever killed her was wearing this shirt at the time, then threw it away. Now, tell us, is this your shirt, or is it Violet's?
Roxanne sheds another tear, but doesn't speak.
Roxanne, Chloe was your friend. She cared about you, and it's obvious you care about her too. She was willing to take the rap for you. Now you have the chance to do right by her. You know goddamn well Violet killed her.
Agent Garrison has a look of compassion on his face. Roxanne shows a look of contemplation.
You're looking down the barrel of a lot of jail time here. We'll cut you a sweet deal and take a lot of years off your sentence if you give up Violet and whoever's running the operation. If you do that, you'll serve the minimal time allowed for your crimes. Then you'll get out. I've seen it happen. It can happen for you too. Meanwhile, Violet spends the rest of her life rotting in prison. But this is your chance here. Come on.
Roxanne breathes a sigh. Moser appears agitated.
Time's running out, Tinsley. So is our patience. You better talk before we find Violet and get her version of events where she implicates you.
Roxanne pauses and wipes her tears.
It was Violet. And yes, that's her shirt with Chloe's blood, not mine. Violet coerced Chloe and me into doing all those things Chloe mentioned, and I am well aware she would have sold me out too.
And the people you work for?
Shirley Badger and Carlito Gomez. Shirley's Violet's old mentor. I'll be happy to write down the addresses where they do business.
Moser and Agent Garrison nod their heads. Roxanne looks at the crime scene photos of Chloe and softly touches one as more tears roll down from her eyes upon seeing her fallen friend. Interior, federal courthouse, interrogation room, hour later. Roxanne has just finished writing up a confession statement. She signs it and dates it. Moser and Agent Garrison walk into the room. Roxanne hands the statement to Agent Garrison.
You did the right thing, Roxanne.
The second I saw Chloe dead, I knew it had to have been Violet. Please find that bitch and lock her up for good.
Moser gestures to Garrison.
Arrest Gomez and Badger and put Violet Dupree on the 10 most wanted list. Jewel theft, organ theft, and now murder. She's going away for life.
Interior, bank ATM vestibule, sometime later. Violet withdraws a large sum of cash from the ATM and places it in her velvet bag. Interior, news studio, sometime later. Jill Danvers sits in the studio, ready to give a news report.
Good evening. I'm Jill Danvers with a breaking news story. 2 recent crimes here in Miami have been simultaneously solved. The recent string of kidney thefts and the recent jewel heists at both the Blue Lagoon building and Flamingo Tower.
Interior, Violet's car, same time. Violet listens to the exact same news bulletin on her car radio.
The FBI has arrested 24-year-old Roxanne Tinsley for her complicity in both crimes, as well as felony heroin possession. Tinsley's roommate, Chloe Chamberlain, also complicit in the crimes, was found murdered on their property. The main suspect is her other roommate and fellow accomplice, Violet Dupree. Dupree is now believed to be on the run and is on the FBI's 10 most wanted list.
My God. Feds nabbed Roxy, and she's squealing. I knew she was weak.
The heroin found in Tinsley's possession was laced with mercurite, a poison that's untraceable in an autopsy.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet, didn't you? Stupid little twat.
Interior, the Frost home living room, same time. Damon, Karen, and Alan watch the same news bulletin on TV. They appear crestfallen by the news.
Tinsley is the fiancé of Damon Frost, son of Miami City Councilman Alan Frost, who is running for mayor in November. This scandal will no doubt hurt his campaign.
I feel a bad gas attack coming. Exterior, open road, sometime later. The wind blows heavily, the rain pours down, and the thunder roars. Violet's car speeds past a sign that says, Miami City Limits. Interior, the Frost home, sometime later. Damon stands and dials a number on his cell phone.
Hey, it's Roxy. Leave me a message.
Roxanne, it's Damon. How could you do this to my family? Drugs? Plus, you stole those jewels right from under our noses. And organ theft? I don't even know where to begin with that. And to hear about it on the news? My dad's entire political career is ruined now. He's dropping out of the election.
Damon takes a deep breath.
I'm sorry, but our engagement's off. We'll help pay for legal counsel, but after that, I can't have anything to do with you. It's over, Roxanne. Goodbye.
Exterior, open road sometime later. The storm is still going strong. Branches are falling off trees. Violet's convertible drives with the top up. The wet, slippery road and the heavy wind cause it to hit a telephone pole. Interior, Violet's car, same time. Violet punches the steering wheel in anger.
Shit!
Interior, exterior road. Outside Violet's car, driver's seat, same time. Violet runs out of her car and observes the badly damaged front and cracked windshield. With the driver's side door still open, Violet scurries back in, turns the key, and attempts to restart the car. It won't start. Frustrated, Violet punches her steering wheel again, reaches into her back seat, pulls out a duffel bag, and runs from the accident scene, leaving her car there while the storm comes heavily down. Exterior, pet supply store, entrance, hour later. A cat rescue guy sits on the table outside the store. There are pamphlets and a donation jar on the table.
Well, if everyone could just please take a moment to donate any little bit you can. This goes to our local animal welfare shelter's Cat Rescue Foundation. Look, we find homes for abused and neglected cats.
Violet quickly passes by.
Excuse me, miss. Would you mind donating to the Cat Rescue Foundation? Every little bit helps.
Violet turns around and approaches the guy.
You're doing this out here in the middle of a hurricane? You must be fucking crazy.
I'm not crazy, ma'am. This is just how much I care about the well-being of our feline friends. They need us.
And that's really where all this money goes to. You don't pocket any of it yourself? You're not bullshitting me here?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Don't call me ma'am.
Look, I'm sorry. Miss. If you wouldn't mind taking a look at our brochures, you'll see thousands of cats are just abandoned, neglected, and abused. They don't have anyone to...
Violet takes the cash she recently withdrew out of her velvet bag and places it on the table in front of the cat rescue guy.
Wow. You're donating all this? There must be hundreds of thousands of dollars here. This is the most generous donation we've ever gotten. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I don't need it where I'm going.
Violet scurries away as fast as she can. The cat rescue guy counts the money. Montage. A. Roxanne is at the Women's Federal Correction Facility, being led to her prison cell by the warden. B. Violet enters a building, running past the woman at the front desk, who picks up a phone and calls security. C. Police cars swarm the building out front. Agent Garrison and other agents and detectives get out of the cars. D. Roxanne sits on the bed of her prison cell, staring into the distance as a tear rolls from her eye. E. Violet climbs the stairs that lead to the top of the building. Montage ends. Exterior, top of building, moments later. Violet scurries toward the ledge and stops in the middle. The rain pours down, the wind heavily blows, and the thunder roars. Violet stares into the sky during the hurricane, and it notices it's an electric purple-violet color, the same as when she was born. Violet outstretches her arms and takes it all in. Agent Garrison and other agents enter the top of the building. Violet continues running to the ledge. Agent Garrison pulls his gun on Violet.
Violet Dupree, freeze!
Exterior ledge of building continuous. Violet jumps like a high diver off the ledge of the building and swan dives down with a smirk of satisfaction on her face. Voiceover.
Sometimes we have no choice but to accept our fate when we're born and when we die under violet skies.
Violet continues her swan dive off the building, plummeting to her death. Exterior, street below building continuous. Violet's dead body lies face down in a pool of blood as onlookers observe in horror, and the hurricane continues. Fade out.